What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, or expert. Hello. But today, we're doing something different, obviously. Going back to our tier list prompts, okay? We are going to be tiering every demon in the game and, like, giving you my honest opinions on how good they are with the new Demon King. Because, genuinely speaking, he's a good unit, right? Okay, let's actually just turn these off for the day, I guess. But he's a good unit, right? Like, hear me out. He's really good. He just doesn't have a proper team. And I'm making this pre the Part 2 Festival unit, which is an Assault Melee, according to leaks. So, we might add him to the list. We might just not do that. I don't know. Depends on if y'all want to see a type of video like this again. But, yeah. We're going to be ranking all the units from how I feel on how they operate with the Demon King. We might even play a few PvP matches in there somewhere, and we'll go from there. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000, and let's get this started by obviously going off of the tiers, right? We have our best mates, which is like, you know, ZELDRIS' best teammates. Like, there's no debate about it. Then we have the potential tier, which means like they have potential to be great. We're just missing like something, right? Then you have the decent tier, which speaks for itself. The mid tier also speaks for itself. The horrid tier, the units are practically unusable. And then the actual unusable tier, which is like mainly for the ZELDRISes, because obviously you can't use ZELDRIS on a ZELDRIS. Duh. And then like SR Meliodas, for example, they're unusable. Like not even worth the effort. So let's go ahead and start off with the unusable tier, right? We got all the ZELDRISes, SR Meliodas, and then that's about it for unusable tier. Everyone else can be raked normally, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that, right? Because if I see an SR Meliodas in PvP of any scenario, we got issues. So going into this, I want to play PvP a little bit, but at the same time I don't want to waste too much time doing the PvP itself. So I'm like going to go through the list in order from like the top all the way to the bottom, and then we're just going to talk about the units and if they can actually perform on a team, if I've done it already. And if they can't, then, you know, just slap them on somewhere. Now, starting off with the easier answer, the first one, Demon Chandler, or Red Mage Chandler, not the demon one. He potential. He has potential. If anything, he probably is one of the best people to use on his team. But the reason he's not going there is because there is a better Chandler for this exact role. So we're just going to put him, and he has potential because he is pretty good. His counter is really good, especially with the shield up. It's going to take them a while to get to this Chandler, as well as ZELDRIS and whoever else put you on the team. It's probably going to take you a solid minute. And I don't have him as a character, unfortunately. This is the only demon I don't have in the game, so I can't really showcase it. But we all know, we saw the live stream, he's decent. He has a good potential to be on the team for Demon King, but it's just not that serious. Now, sliding into, you know, other units. Okay, so funny enough, I decided not to play PvP. I'm going to do it this way because I think it's a little bit more simpler. But I'm going to show the team on the side of the game, and then on the left side, you know, just going to have the tier list there. Then we're going to throw a little bit of edits in there as well, so we can actually have a little bit of fun in this video. But regardless, moving on to the Green Demon Hendrickson, I'm going to say Horde. I'm going to say Horde, right? Mainly because Demon Hendrickson, as a unit, he buffs, debuffs attacks by 50%. ZELDRIS does not have a debuff attack. He has two straightforward DPS cards. He does not have a debuff card. So I'm going to honestly put Hendrickson in Horrid. And even if you were to run him on the team, I don't think it would make any sense because you would, like, none of the demons actually have debuffs, and except like the high tier ones, unless you put like Galland on the team or something like that. But we can probably get into that at a later point. But I probably say I won't say Horde. He has potential, but he's not that high. Like, as of right now, there's no demons that actually help him out, so I'm gonna put him in mid. I'll put him in mid. And if you really want to use him in like today's meta, the team would probably look something like this, because like literally this is the only character with a debuff attack that's actually usable in today's meta, and like usable is a very stretch of the term. So like that would probably be the best team for this Hendrickson, unironically. And it doesn't help the Demon King at all. It's only buffing Galland's damage. That is it. So it is like there really is no other demons with debuff attacks that would actually thrive with Hendrickson. So like, yeah, no. I'll put him in mid. Like, he's not horrible. because he's a decent unit, but he's mid for Demon King specifically. Now, moving on to Assault Meliodas. Honestly, he has potential. Like, if you don't know, obviously, we're getting the Assault Meliodas rerun, technically. Like, we're getting a new unit for Assault Meliodas. He's going to be a new named Assault Meliodas. I think he's a new named. He's going to be a seasonal unit, and he's also going to have 2025 stats. So, if it's a new name Assault Meliodas, that'd be great, but I think it isn't actually. Let me just go back on my words a little bit here. Let me, like, restate my opinion. The Assault Melee we're getting is going to be the same named Assault Meliodas, but it will have 2025 stats. Therefore, we will have Assault Meliodas' relic on the new Assault Meliodas. That being said, using him as like the new one, it's probably going to be the best teammate for Demon King, but we don't know his kit. We don't know if that's true or not. It's all speculation. So this Assault Melee specifically, I'm going to put him in potential simply because he is good. But he's not the best Meliodas for this Demon King, so he can't go in the best mates tier list, obviously. But he has potential to be good. And if you want a team for him, it would 100% look something along the lines of this. With Assault Melee, with your, your links or whatever. And then either Estarossa or Halloween Estarossa. And then Demon Chandler in the back with his Holy Relic. And if you don't have his Holy Relic, maybe use Cusack. Or, like, maybe use someone different, you know. There's options, but this is probably going to be the best setup for this Meliodas. And genuinely, if we get a new one with actual stats, he's probably going to be the best character for this new Demon King. And it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be real. Now, moving on to Green Melascula. So Green Melascula is an interesting one, right? Because Green Melascula, she makes your team immune to ignites. And then she also gives the enemies ignites. But since this Melascula is kind of immune to ignites, it's a little bit different, but that's about it. There's no ignite characters in meta. Her kit itself is not usable because she has a shield, and her ult drain is like irrelevant when it comes to these high DPS, high offensive teams. So, genuinely speaking, Melascula is gonna be mid tier. If not mid, she's probably Horde because her shield directly counteracts his shield. So yeah, I'm honestly put her in Horde. I'm not even worth the time. Don't even try this character. It's not worth your effort. Now to Purgatory Meliodas. I will also put him into potential tier because genuinely speaking, Purgatory Meliodas kind of made a comeback because not only do you have a little bit of defensive capabilities from ZELDRIS or the Demon King, he also, because the way that this man works as a character is that he needs to live at least a turn or two, and with the shield, you can probably guarantee that he lives one turn, and that one turn will be enough for Purgatory Meliodas to proc his Shackles of Purgatory on top of the Demon King's actual procking of attack related stats if the shield is on at the end of the turn or something along those lines. I don't exactly remember how his 20% attack related stats work, but that's 50% to 20%. This Meliodas is probably insane. I haven't tried him yet, but I probably will because I genuinely like this Meliodas the best out of all of them that exist in the game. But it's probably gonna be crazy. And also, this is not in any particular order. They're just on the list. So don't even worry about if they're behind Chandler or not. I'm not saying they're better or worse than Chandler. I'm just saying they're all in the same tier. It's not ordered in any way. But moving on to an actual good team for this unit, it would probably look somewhere along this type of team for sure. Because the Chandler scales off of debuffs. There's no one on this team giving debuffs. Let's be real. Unless you have the Holy Relic, it's not going to be that great. But no one on this team actually procs debuffs at all times unless you're running like green Saria Link on him, which is valid. It works. I do it all the time with Estarossa because he's not the damage dealer. Let's be real. His entire existence is just him staring at the wall and proccing his abilities. And that's for both Halloween and Estarossa. Like, they do the same shit, but I genuinely think Festival Estarossa is still better than a Halloween one. Just the Halloween one has a little bit more survivability in his kit. That's literally the only difference. So yeah, that's going to be the team for that guy. Now moving on to Green Derieri. Honestly, this is probably not a horrible unit. I'm going to put her in decent. Like, genuinely. I don't think that this Derieri is, like, actually going to live a turn, right? Even with the Demon King shield. I'm pretty sure most people would just target DPS her down because she's so squishy and outdated. So I don't think she's going to be, like, an insane unit for ZELDRIS. But her kit is still pretty good, right? She has a passive where you can't merge cards to gain ultimate gauge, so that's going to be ult control. One of her skills is also ult control. Her AoE, I think, is buff removal, right? Her AoE. Okay, no, her AoE is filling her own ultimate, so she counteracts her own passive. And then also her commandment, if you were to genuinely use it, is pretty solid in PvP. Like, if you put her in the first slot instead of ZELDRIS and use her commandment, ranged attacks do 35% less damage, and on top of that, if you're hitting the shield with an AoE, does less damage. Most range attacks are AoE. I think it's a good combination. I really do. Like, this Derieri could probably do some pretty good work, but unfortunately, she's outdated as hell. She's dying turn 1, even with the shield. Let's be, like, genuinely be honest, even with all that damage reduction, she's dying turn 1. I'm gonna be so honest. But if you were looking to be a little bit weird, it would definitely look something along the lines of that. Like, genuinely speaking. I don't know if it's gonna be beneficial. Honestly, it's up in the air, but it probably will do something of value, maybe. And if not using Chandler with his relic, you could probably use Sigurd in the back and get a little bit better results. And then, just for, you know, sake of the video, I did not add people that are not the actual demon race. So like Gelda and Demiurge, we all know they're fucking insane. But I'm talking about the demon race specifically. I'm not talking about the elf demons like Sigurd or Demiurge or Gelda. But if you were to use Sigurd in the subslot instead of Chandler or Cusack, that probably would have... It may work a little bit better, maybe. Because she's not a DPS. She's not doing damage. She's probably hitting for patience. Her stats are fucking abysmal. But maybe you can get something out of it. Who knows? But either way, I'm going to put her in decent tier, and we're going to call that there. So, moving on to Green Estarossa. I'm going to say mid. I'm putting him in mid because genuinely his counter is not going to do any damage to anyone. It won't do anything. And his cards kit itself is pretty fucking horde. And then on top of that, like, he doesn't have a holy relic. Like, it's bad, bro. It's bad. So, like, his commandment's cool, I guess, but it's not worth it. I don't think it's gonna do much. I think the commandment is his only positive attribute in like this kit. So, yeah, I'll put him in mid. I don't think it's even worth like making a team for this guy. Like, it's just not it. Honestly, it's the same thing with this other Estarossa, but we'll get there when we get there. But like, yeah, no, the OG Estarossa is just not it. It's Suicide Fraudulent. I'm gonna put him in best, either best or like at the top of the potential tier, because genuinely it's a suicide unit. If you like, you kill him, you win the game in most scenarios. Blech. But also, I want to get Suicide Demon King teams a lot this week, and I haven't lost to one yet, to be honest. They kind of just sit there, they die turn 1, and then you can single target the Demon King or Meliodas down, depending on which one you feel like killing. But usually you can kill 2 of them in 1 turn, because hyper offense is just never the play. So honestly, yeah, I'm not going to put him in best tier, I'm going to put him in potential. And not even like the potential to be good, it's just that, honestly, nah, I'm putting him in decent. I'd rather run these 3 than a suicide unit, because I have not lost to a suicide demon team yet. They show up every now and then, but they literally don't win. They don't win games. Like, there's way too much damage going out from the Demon King or the Demon team itself to like even give this man the time of day. So I'll put him in decent, honestly. And then obviously the suicide team would be something just very simple, you know, Demon King, Fraudulent, and insert 6/6 demon here, or whoever your best demon is. So, you know, Meliodas, any of them, Estarossa, I guess. But like, it's very simple shit. Nothing to write home about, I'm gonna be honest. Now, Red Melascula is interesting. I'm not entirely sure where I want to put her, right? Red Melascula is actually not horrible, but at the same time, she kind of serves the same purpose as a Fraudulent in the sense, because genuinely speaking, she's not living a turn, and her revive passive is cool if you don't target her, but you don't even need to target her to kill her with only AoEs. So genuinely, I don't think she's that good. I'm probably just going to put her in decent tier as well. She's not clutching the game. She's not saving your character unless you're going against someone with the IQ of 3. Yeah, I'm going to put her in decent at best and just call it there. not even worth making the team. But if you want to use this character, the team would definitely be Meliodas, because they have a revive. So there's no chance in Meliodas dying first. So at least you're giving Demon King a little bit of a better chance to proc Melascula's passive. But let's be real, these two are surviving way longer than Melascula. I don't think that passive will ever proc. I'm gonna be so honest. But if it does, and the teammate doesn't single target or doesn't AoE for some reason, you might be able to squeeze one out. It's the same boat as the Fraudrin. If you somehow kill Fraudrin only, you might be able to squeeze one out. I don't know about Derieri, now that I'm like putting them in comparison, but I do think Derieri has a little bit of potential over Estarossa and shit like that. So I'm gonna just leave it like that. But yeah, we're just gonna let that slide. Moving on to Red Galland. He's not helping. He's horrid. He's not doing anything. His entire kit is based off of having a mono red team, and Demon King is dark, so he's not doing anything. Not at all. Honestly, I would probably put him in unusable, but that's not true. You can definitely put him on a team and maybe win just for him standing there, but he won't do anything. At least I'll give him that. But yeah, I'll put him in horrid tier and just leave it there. Halloween Meliodas, honestly, I don't even think, I think he's actually an unusable. He's actually an unusable. No, he's dog shit. He's an unusable. I won't even give him the satisfaction. That dude is actually trash. Even when he came out, he was trash. And that's, what, 3-4 years later? He still sucks. Like, nah, it's over. He unusable as fuck. Trader Meliodas, though. Trader Meliodas may have potential, because he's got some good damage reduction here. And then when you use 2 single targets, you can get his 20% damage reduction. Trader Meliodas might actually be able to pull something off. I'll put him in potential. And if you want to run him, that will be your team right there, obviously, because there are no demons. They're just no demons. That will be your team. And you probably can, like, single target with Estarossa with his Flood card based off of HP. Single target with Meliodas, and then AoE with ZELDRIS. That might be what a typical first turn looks like, because you can get some damage with ZELDRIS, and you can also proc Meliodas' passive for damage reduction. So maybe that's a solid team. I might have to try it out just because I like Trader Meliodas. But maybe this will actually do something for your, sanity. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to put him, potential. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Moving on to God Meli. It's a no-brainer. He's one of the best teammates for him, easily. God Meli, Estarossa. Like, at this point, bro, listen. Estarossa is going to be on the team because there are no demons. And then it's just insert demon there if he works. Or if I can't use Estarossa, use Meliodas. It's really simple. Like, this dude's kind of a staple. You need him on any demon team. He's kind of insane. Halloween Estarossa is whatever, in my opinion. But he is pretty much going to be there at all times. Especially alongside this big boy right here. So, yeah. God Meli, right there in the middle. Sub-slot character, insert here. You're chilling. God Meli is one of his best teammates, as God Meli is really, really strong on his own. And then he loves demons. So, GG's. Now, moving on to Green Monspeet. Honestly, bro, if I had him built, I would use him, because his Holy Relic is really cool, and it actually kind of puts him in the game a little bit. And his passive also isn't that bad as well. Like, his kit is honestly not horrible, right? Where is it? Like, his commandment puts him in the same boat as Derieri, so he's like a decent commandment. You can't get ult gauge by using skills. It's the opposite of Derieri. So, like, great commandment, honestly. His passive is a little bit to be worked on, but his Holy Relic makes up for it. So he will always have 100% damage dealt increased regardless, because his Holy Relic just applies ignites to people if they're all demons on your team. So, like, and then also ignites give him stats and shit like that. So, like, genuinely speaking, I think he has a better chance than anyone in decent tier to be usable. But he's still decent, so I'm gonna put him at the top of decent, and then just, like, kinda call it there. And again, if you want to use Monspeet, it'll probably just look like this. Or using God Meli or Meliodas right there for extra DPS. But probably something like this. And then insert stuff like there. It's real simple shit. Now moving on, we have Meliodas. Obviously one of the best people for him. It's real easy, real simple. Same shit. Meliodas, Estarossa. We've seen it. We already know about it. There's no reason to even linger on this any longer. He's great. And then also Halloween Meliodas, one of the best. Or Halloween Estarossa, not Meliodas. My apologies. But Halloween Estarossa, one of the best. They go hand in hand. It's very flippy flamsy with all these characters. But yeah, obviously, it just makes sense that way. Because there are no demons. Anyways, moving on. We have Cusack, right? Cusack is interesting. I'm probably going to put OG Cusack in potential. Not even potential, honestly. I'll put him in decent. Only because he would have potential, but the problem with his kit is that he requires you not to crit in order to do damage. Like his passive, if a demon ally uses a single target, it does not crit. They will then take 40% additional damage of their increased to max HP. The only problem with that is increased max HP is a buff. So if they're not buffing their HP outside of their kit or outside of their stats, like if they have an actual buff, then they'll take more damage. But there are no HP scaling teams at the moment, so Cusack kinda doesn't do anything. And then on top of that, the single targets in demon meta right now are all crit heavy, so they'll never not crit. So yeah, I'll put him in decent. There's no point in even running him on a team, to be honest. Like, he's actually just horrible, but he is a decent unit, so I'll just put him in decent and just leave it at that. Now, Blue Demon Meliodas. Yeah, you're weird if you're using this man. Like, he'll be fun, I guess. He may be in mid, though. He might be mid. His AoE is not going to do any damage. His passive doesn't serve for anybody. Like, it's really just kind of a shit unit, all in all. Like, what is this? The hero becomes immune to attack disable effects when a hero has more than 4 roll gauge. Like, that's cute, but who cares? He's probably not going to live that long to use it. Let's be real. Like, it's not that great. It's not that great. I'll put him in mid. Not even worth the team. And now for the sub slots, obviously, we're just going to speedrun these two. Origin Cusack, Origin Chandler. Chandler is the best teammate for him. His Holy Relic is insane with ZELDRIS. Cusack is in there, but, like, Chandler with his Holy Relic is literally both of them in one character. So if you have his Holy Relic, you'll never use Cusack again, because his Holy Relic gives you Cusack's passive, which is insane, genuinely. So honestly, I'll put him in potential, like somewhere down there in potential. He's not the best teammate. Like, even if you don't have his relic, you're still going to use Chandler over Cusack. You don't need Cusack. You really don't. So I'm going to put him in potential, and I'll put Chandler in best mates, and we moving on. Now, Ragnarok Lost Vein, he's going in mid. He's going mid. He's going mid. That nigga is not doing anything. You can ult rush with his passive all you want. His ultimate's not doing shit. It's just not. His kit is useless. It just is. Like, he's probably better than Blue Demon. Maybe. But he's not doing anything. He does absolutely nothing. Not even worth the team. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. Blue Derieri, right? I think she's the best Derieri for PvP, but at the same time, it's not that great, right? Because it's a Derieri, OG, old statted unit. That being said, though, she has the Commandment of Green Derieri, so that already puts her in decent with her. But she also has a better kit than Green Derieri because she has a taunt, and she has stun immunity when she's taunting, and she has an ult drain. So it's sort of the same kit as this one, but I'm gonna honestly say that Blue Derieri is a little better. Is she still decent tier? Maybe, but I do think she has potential, and I'll get into why I think she has potential once I get to the reasoning. But for now, I'll leave her in potential, then I'll explain it later. I think that makes more sense. And as for her best team, it'll be this, you know. Meliodas, Derieri, Chandler with Relic. If you don't have Chandler with Relic, probably Sigurd, but Chandler with Relic, best in slot. And we're just gonna go on from that. Yep, makes sense. It's the same thing, chat. Like, that's the problem with the demon, bro. They don't got any versatility right now, bro. It is what it is. Moving on to OG Blue Chandler. I'm gonna put him in decent. Like, he's okay. He's not better than the red one, not even close. The red one is insane compared to the blue one. So honestly, yeah, put him in a whole tier below. It makes a lot of sense. But he isn't unusable. He still has some use case. It's just that this one's better. It's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. Red Demon Meliodas. Yeah, he's going in mid with the rest of them. He's not doing shit for the team. Absolutely nothing. If anything, nah, I'll put him in front of Blue Meli at least. But like, yeah, he's mid. He's not doing shit. Full counter Meliodas, horrid tier. Not even, no, he's not doing shit. He's not doing a damn thing. He probably is low-key unusable, but I'll put him in horrid for the freaks out there that actually want to think he's decent. Bellyon. Bellyon's interesting because I want to say that Bellyon is actually useful, but he actually just isn't, unfortunately. Like, Bellyon is really interesting as a character, but he has no real kit. He recovers when he removes debuffs. He doesn't have a debuff removal kit, so I don't know why that's even a thing. But his cards are decent, I guess, right? Deplete ult gauge card, and then he has a shatter AoE with an actually pretty strong ultimate with no effect. He had potential. If you ever get LR Bellyon, I think he'll break the game. I'm gonna be real. Or at least he'll break the demons, and then the demons will be so much more flexible, bro. But they just don't. So I'm gonna put Bellyon in mid. I'll put him like in front of the demons at least. But like I think he, you know, if in the right circumstance, he could probably go crazy. But we're not gonna get that circumstance ever in life. So yeah, don't even think about it. Red Derieri, she can go. I'll probably put her mid. Yeah, I'll put her mid. Like, she's the worst of the three, in my opinion. Like, cool, her kit's good, but it requires her to spam her kit skills, and she just does not do enough damage in 2025 for that to even matter. So I'm gonna put her in mid, and we're just gonna not even worry about that anymore. OG Red Estarossa can also go mid. He's dog shit. Honestly, he's going in Horrid. He's actually really bad. But on the bright side, right? If we get an LR Estarossa, it will be the Red Estarossa, and it will probably be really fun to play with that character again after, what, 4 or 5 years? Because he's like basically a day 1 unit. It'll be very fun. Now, moving on. Blue Melascula. So here's the thing, right? With leaks being a thing, apparently we will be getting a LR Blue Melascula. Like, it's already in the notes apparently. Like, don't take my word for it though. I don't know that for fact. But that being said, I do think that if she were to get a kit, she'd be good. But unfortunately, we don't have that character at the moment. We have this normal one with a infect single target and a detonate AoE. Basically saying she's shit. She's in Horrid tier. She will never do anything until we get our LR. So yeah, same with Estarossa. They're both dog shit because they're outdated, outscaled, just terrible units. Green Fraudrin, also Horrid, outdated, terrible unit, nothing to talk about there. Champion Meliodas, I'm going to say Horrid as well. Honestly, no, I'll put him in unusable. Not because he's a bad unit, it's because it's Meliodas, and there's literally god tier Meliodas characters out there. Why would you use this Meliodas when he's a sub-slot character on top of the demons already having a sub-slot character? There's no point to use this Meliodas whatsoever. So yeah, he's unusable, straight up. Red Monspeet, he's slightly worse than green. I wouldn't put him in decent either. Red Monspeet's kind of like debuff centered as well. He has an AoE weak point, stuff like that. So I'm going to put him in mid. Like low-key, not even mid, probably Horrid. The green Monspeet is just so much better. I'm going to be real. Like, the green Monspeet is actually leagues better than the red one. So yeah, I'll put him in Horrid tier, genuinely. And then we just move on from that. Excuse me. And then like Estarossa, again. Best teams in the game. Estarossa, Meliodas, ZELDRIS, Cusack, backline. That's literally the meta. And then, yeah, it just doesn't get worse than that. Moving on to LR Gallant, I'm going to say he has potential because it's an LR character. And LR characters aren't usually horrible. And, like, if you get a better, you know, demon that isn't Meliodas or Estarossa, it might be fine. He might be okay. He might be good. But, nah, he don't fit in the kit right now. But he has potential to because he's not a bad unit at all. He's not. He just has, you know, very specific standards for a team that doesn't exist for the demon team yet. So, useless LR. He'll get there eventually. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. LR Lost Vein, honestly, okay. Even though I just had an LR Spule, LR Lost Vein is shit because he has demons that do better than him. They perform better than him. I'm going to put him... I don't even think he has potential to be good on this team because LR Lost Vein is just... Who's going to use him over Eliotus or God and Melee? Or even Assault Melee. No one's really going to use this character. I'm going to be real. So I'm going to put him in decent. Like, top of decent. And then just call it there. And then last but not least, we're going to throw in the Green Demon Meliodas. And we're just going to probably give him Horrid. Horrid, if not mid, with the rest of them. Because, genuinely speaking, yeah, he's not doing shit for the team either. He doesn't do damage. He's not breaking shields. He's not doing anything detrimental. And stuff like that. He's not supporting the team. Nothing. He's a DPS that is no longer a DPS character. So, that's going to be the tier list, ladies and gentlemen. We are, and then also, you know, for the people who just wanted to see the tier list at the very end, Gelda, Demiurge, and Sigurd are all going to be in best mates, but they're not demon units specifically. They're unknowns / humans that can register as a demon. Nah, I'm not talking about them. They're not real demons. I'm talking about the people who actually have the demon race tag on them. That being said, that's gonna be the video. obviously, as you can see, just from these are my opinions, obviously, so it's subject to change depending on who plays who, especially when I don't have half of the demons in the game like completely maxed out level 100 SA6. Okay, I have like half of them literally, but it's not that many to choose from, right? And I don't have that one Chandler. But yeah, subjective, but I do think this is pretty accurate on like what the teams look like for the ZELDRIS at the moment. And then once this new Assault Melee comes out, he's probably going to be in the best mates tier, if not potentially the best. But literally, this is my list, and we're just going to leave it at that. So, like, subscribe, comment down below how y'all feel about the list. Do y'all feel anything like wrong? Do y'all feel anyone needs to be moved around? Stuff like that. But until then, that's going to be a video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, and have a wonderful day.